let's head on over to Neil. And then we can officially get started. So the plan tonight is the usual, try and get into Millennia, try and get into the DLC. Depends how it goes. There's only, let's see here, we got the final bosses of the regular game. As usual, I don't concern myself with beating Elden Beast, because the fight can take, every attempt can take a really long time. So I beat Radagon, but I don't really care to go all the way to beating Elden Beast, because you know that story. It can take, if you get some cheap death or something, then it's like maybe 20 minutes to do it again, and you're not going to do it. And also, I can see with this build being really hard on my arrows. Like, I will absolutely, there's no way I will if I do a few tries through Radagon all the way through to Elden Beast, I might have no arrows left. So this build actually has a limit to it. There's only so many times I can do bosses. Once I run out of arrows, it's like I either spend an hour farming to get all my arrows back, or just move on. Hopefully that won't happen though. I am almost well. I can always switch to melee in any example, right? But once I switch to melee, then this build, it's not really. I mean, it'll still be a hunter build, but it's it takes the fun out of it, or it takes what the focus is for you. Like I was saying about Doctor Strange last night. If I'm just doing whatever the heck I want and ignoring the build rules, then it's like, what's the point of all this, right? So. But I will use melee, like with Malacath, if I'm like stuck in a corner, or if I'm okay, well, not like literally stuck in a corner, but even if I'm literally stuck in a corner. But if I'm stuck in such a way that it's like I cannot use my arrows, or I get stuck, or like that one time the other last night where it's like I'm pressing the button to use the arrow and he just keeps doing that animation where there's patting their butt, and it's like, I absolutely do have arrows, but the game just yes I do, and then I will switch to melee. It's honestly faster here to just die and respawn. Because trying to lose them, it takes too long. So anyway, hopefully nothing like that will happen. I will do some melee, but I'd rather not do nothing but melee. As far as I'm concerned, if I get forced into a melee corner, then it's over, right? So I mean, not being able to clear a game with a certain build is kind of part of this challenge. If I can't do it, I can't do it. Or if it's too difficult or too complicated, then that's a safe result. Anyway, so I made some changes to her character. Decided to add more red to it. So got a little more red going on. Ooh, I don't have the helmet equipped. Well, I figured if I put on the helmet, I can't see the face. Then again, the face is ugly anyway. Maybe you don't want to see her face. But, you know what? I am going to put that on, because I want this to look like first, early on, a World of Warcraft hunter, you're going to say, yeah, I probably won't really have a helmet. So we'll just put this on, just to say, hey, there's a little more red in there. Hey! Good! God damn, you guys are annoying. You can't let me show off my clothes. Yeesh. Oh, come on! You are not close enough to the grace for me to not click it. It was glowing and everything. Bullshit. Okay, the game won't let me show off the updates to the clothes I've made, so looks like I'm just gonna have to go straight to the boss. I can't even stand here by the grace. It will eventually attack me if I just sit here long enough. So whatever, I've added more red. And I can't make the adjustments I was planning to make to the gear, because the game's gonna be stupid. Let's switch to this. Arrows. I'm gonna have to use arrows. Serpent arrows. The one major change I've made is I've decided to... So I've had disengage. Wait, oh no, I don't want the eagle for this. I need scorpion. Crap. Where's that scorpion? So the one major change I've really made is, you know how I have the spear with, Get away from me, get away from me. I'm trying to talk, but I can't concentrate. Anyway, I've removed these. The spear had a bloodhound step to represent. I can't get a break here. It was supposed to be the cover for not the cover. I'm messed up here. I can't think and play at the same time. It was the stand-in for a disengage. However, there's just no... It's just too much. It's a little too much to mix in. Come on! What the fuck? You stupid scorpion. You're supposed to be on them. This is another one of those shitty spells where it's like the summon is like on the other side of the room. Okay, well, that's an example where I have to go melee because those guys are giving me, like, no chance. Like, none whatsoever to breathe. So, yeah, whatever. The spear with disengage, Bloodhound step, too much. There's just too much extra equipment. I was barely using it. So I'm probably not going to be using it anymore. I'll probably just stick to the axe, and then I'll have like 3 different bows with all the different abilities, because being able to step away from an enemy is nothing special. It's not really helping anything. I press the button, but who cares, right? Who cares if I press buttons? Not you, obviously, not the game. See? See? It's not just me being silly. Sometimes it's just I'm trying to play the build's rules, right? Oh, that scorpion is getting his butt kicked by those damn knights. Oh, come on. I can't do a bow build without the pet. I can't see, I can't see. You are kidding me. I can't. God damn it. So now I have to do this without the pet, and this is no longer a true hunter build. Fortunately, I have to beat this ass. Okay. Ugh. So I'm gonna have to kill those stupid knights early on because the scorpion is worthless against them. But without without the scorpion, then this is your ye old standard melee attack build, which is, you know, it undermines the purpose of this run. So I can't do it. So I'm gonna have to kill those stupid knights. I have to kill them quickly because this just doesn't work if they're alive. Explosion trap! Oh crap. For all of that was pointless. At least now it's actually, I mean, he's actually harder like this. Whoa, how did he miss that? That was crazy. Whoop, I didn't mean to do that. He's completely ignoring the scorpion. Yeah, he's still doing a lot of damage to the scorpion. Crap, I might have to actually go into melee here. I got no choice. He's focused on just me and me alone. He's not even trying to bother with the scorpion. Scorpion can't even hit him. So I have to go into melee now. He's spamming this stupid attack. Okay, now he switches. And now it's too late because he's going to kill the scorpion soon. And I cannot spend any more time on this guy. Oh. No, I can't spend any more time on this guy, guys. So, and the scorpion's worthless, so I just gotta go after him. I have to run all the way to Millennia, and I have to run. So there's too much footwork left to do tonight, so we are not gonna mess around with him anymore tonight. But he absolutely has to die, because he has no choice, so I'm calling in the Mimic tier, although if you've actually seen this channel enough times, and you'll know that rarely makes that much of a difference, but it will likely make more of a difference than that stupid scorpion will, because it's not doing anything at this point. But I can't. I can't get stuck on this guy. had to be done. This was going wrong really quickly in all the wrong ways, so... I mean, he was not, for some stupid reason, the Scorpion was going in the wrong direction. It was getting hiccuped constantly. Neil was focusing on me and only me no matter what. I couldn't get my boat arrows off. It just wasn't possible, so... No, that one had to just be finished. He just had to be taken down, so... We got too much to do tonight to get stuck on the first boss. I mean, if it were like a more legit challenge, it'd be fine, but it's hard. It's only hard because everything's not working right. So then it's like, I don't care. Alright, let's get some of this running out of the way. Because this is probably the simplest part of this. Let's get this all set up. As usually, Millennia tends to be a real pest on her own. I have no idea what's going to happen with Millennia. I don't know. I just don't think using arrows is going to be worth the effort on her. I don't have the other one yet? Oh, crap. Crap, I have none of these stupid... Well, it's a good thing I didn't get stuck on them. This is more wasted time here. So, you gotta sometimes make some executive decisions, kids, on things like this. Now, if this were like actually World of Warcraft, I'd have no option to just cheese any boss and get out of it easy, right? But on the other hand, in World of Warcraft, you have way more control over what your pets do, and way more control over how they attack and how they go after things. You know, you can control aggro. I don't actually have Feigned Death, unfortunately, so yeah. If I'm not actually going to be playing a hunter the way I'm like a World of Warcraft, if I'm not playing this build the way it's supposed to be played, then there's no point in getting stuck on any particular boss, right? So now, and it's not something like Millennia. That's different because, like, well, you know, you got to fight Millennia or the big bosses in the thing. Like, that's the whole point of these builds. But for some side boss, I'm only doing because I got to get the stupid medallion. It's not worth it, especially at the beginning of the night like this. And I'm already starting pretty worn. So. But yeah, that fight is usually... When it comes to any build that involves companions, that fight is just screwed up. It's just crap. Because they either focus on attacking the spirits that come in through the door behind you, or as you saw there, they appear on the other side of the room, and for some strange reason, next thing I know, I got Neil focused on me and only me, or one of the stupid knight spirits are going after me, so it's like, oh, hey, you know, you should get some aggro, and they just never do, because they don't actually have the ability to control aggro, with the exception of those putrid corpse things. Those things, for some reason, hold aggro like glue. Hurry up. This guy has so much HP for some reason. And he's not like a late game enemy or anything. This is like Liurnia. This is early on. They even at this point in the game, whole bosses will go down quickly and easily. I don't know why that guy has so much HP. Well, whatever. Let's just move on. Ooh, I actually have enough runes to level up. Ooh, better not lose them. I probably should not have said that out loud, shouldn't I? I hate this area. Actually, a lot of people don't enjoy this area in general, but when you're playing through this game like every weekend and you're just trying to get through to get to the next bosses, going through this area is a real pain in the ass. Because you just want to move on to the Howling Tree and to Moog, but no, I gotta go through all this stuff. I mean, I've already... Sometimes you just want to be able to say, like, you know, I've already beaten the game, I've already beaten the area, I've already done this stuff, so just turn off this secondary crap that was really cool the first time you do it, but once you already know what to do, it's just... It does nothing more than inflate the play time, right? It doesn't actually contribute to improving the experience on replays, right? There's just some things that work the first time around, but the second time around, yeah, it's just annoying. Examples of mechanics that fall under this, unskippable cutscenes. They're great to watch the first time through, but replays, or if like you keep losing to a boss and there's a whole cutscene before the boss fight, it's just awful. Or sections that, like in I was playing Resident Evil Village recently. I was going through my replay runs where I go through all the guns. Unfortunately, I think Resident Evil Village kind of failed. Go away. Go away. I don't have time for you. Stupid Neil took away a lot of my spare time. It was a big hog, a time hog. So Resident Evil Village is a good example of this. It actually kind of failed. Even though I enjoyed it a lot, especially with the third-person views, on replays, it really lost some magic. Lost some of its magic. It's just... Well, one, the weapons aren't unique enough. It's not like RE4, even though the game was trying to be like RE4. It's not like RE4 in the sense that like all the guns have like a special unlockable trait when you fully power them up, which makes them a little more interesting, so it's worth trying every gun. No, in RE8 Village... where's this guy here? Where is he? Usually I can tell if he's nearby when my... Well, A, when he does that, but more specifically... Shit. Well, usually... I know he's there because my HP bar is not active, right? It's invisible. It's, you know, it fades away. But as soon as he gets close, it suddenly pops back in. But that time it just stayed in. It's usually it's really odd because I usually get here just fine. I mean, they might get near, it might get close, but never like actually hunts me down or like actually hits me. So that's pretty unusual that happened. Hopefully he isn't tracking me this whole time. Okay, that's actually too far. You don't want to be that far that way. Oh, crap. Oh, please don't tell me the stupid archer spawned. And this is now impossible. Where is it? This is now impossible. Okay, I gotta go with this stupid thing. Because once that archer spawns, this is impossible. It'll kill you. Guaranteed if you try and go up this ladder. So anyway, RE8, so there's no special unlocks on any of the guns in RE8. Basically, the guns you get in the beginning of the game suck, and the ones you get at the end of the game are great, and that's it. You power up the guns you get later, and you're good. That's RE8 Village. That's where the whole gunplay pretty much boils down to. They're not interesting enough. Oh crap! Is this not going to work on them? Oh crap. So anyway, let me get to my actual point here. Whatever, the replay value is not great because of the gun, but the real thing that really messes with the replay value in RE8, as to my point about, you know, some features should really be removed. They should really give you the option to remove things on replays. Is House Benevento. Benevento was really cool the first time you do it, but the second time you do it, and the third time you do it, and the fourth time you do it, it's just a slog. Total slog. Oh crap. I better get this candle. Good. Now I'm good. Now they can do whatever they want to me. I am good. Saved by the loading screen, as per my short. So they should really give you the option to just, on ensuing replays, to just skip it. I mean, unless there's some special aspect to it in like the harder modes. I don't know. I didn't play any of the harder modes in RE8. It didn't seem like there was any point to it. You might get some extra points on the unlock system for beating the harder modes, but since I never care about all the crap you can unlock in the store, I only care about the weapons, the bonus weapons, because that's what actually contributes to replay, stuff like that. But since you can unlock all those just fine with the replays, with regular replays for the sake of unlocking guns, I don't bother with any of that. But I'm just saying that's like a good example. I wish I could skip House Benevento. It's on further replays. It's just a chore. It's no fun when you know what to do and everything, like all the solutions of the puzzles, and you've memorized the codes for the passwords. It's for the locks. It's nothing. Another good example would be like long intro sequences and long tutorials at the beginning of the game. Thankfully, some games... I'm surprised when some games don't give you an option to skip those. That's like crazy, especially if it's a really long tutorial sequence. I'm surprised anyone would consider not removing that. Like, and it's almost like no cutscene skipping. Like games that don't let you skip the cutscenes, especially if they're long cutscenes. Like, I mean, what was that? Whoever designed those games, like, what were they smoking that day? You know? Some really... Oh, shitballs. Oh, that was close. It's... Normally you don't get hit at all by that attack when you're right under him like that. So I don't know why I got hit this time. It's not like I was slowed down or anything. I was doing just fine. So I don't know. Sometimes this game... Well, I should say this game. A lot of games are like that. Sometimes they don't make sense. Like, there are games I've owned where you could play the game, like, once you get good at it, you're always going to, you know, beat that one spot or do that one thing. But then there's some games where it's like, you can do the same thing and be fine, like, 9 times out of 10, and then on that 10th try, all of a sudden everything you're doing is just wrong. And suddenly every enemy's hitting you, and all your attacks all your dodges are missing, and, you know, get out of the way. What the hell? Speaking of which, when did that ever happen? And all these streams that I've done, yes, I've had them stop me that one time, but I still got through, and that time I couldn't go through the door at all. I mean, that said, that can often be a good thing. It means there's some variety in the game. It doesn't always play the same way, right? So there's memorable qualities in that sense. It can actually help the game, but it can feel grating after a while, especially if it happens a lot. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot in Elden Ring. I'd say at least once every... Well, I've said it last night. There's always one. Every time I play through this, there's always at least one stupid death. Right? That shouldn't have happened. That never happens any other time, but it happened this time. Actually, it happened last... it happened the other night with the Stormhawks in Farum Azula. So we already had that happen for this run. But in any game where it happens a lot, like for me it happens a lot in a lot of stealth games. It's a large part why I don't like stealth games. And that, it gives a degree, it like makes you feel like there's a degree of randomness involved, and that can just really sap your enjoyment of the game. Crap, I don't know when it's gonna count. Okay, good. He, I think, was just the explosion. Okay, who do I have for my summon? I don't have time to switch out, so we are just gonna go. Now for her though, usually the bows work just fine. So. Okay, dodge button decided not to work just then, but whatever. No, that was my fault on that one. I should have totally just dodged that attack, but I got messed up. No, I didn't get messed up. I just completely underestimated the delay. Good lord, that rain of arrows is quite the thing. I gotta make some adjustments here to these bows. I need a bow. I can. All right, I gotta go back to enchanted shot. See, this is why I need 3 bows, frankly. Because... So, horn bow, the problem is I don't have 3 arrows. Right? Where is the lion's bow? That's still a regular load. No, I can't use that against her. Spirit Flame, no. Not really a thing. Where are my other arrows? No, I can't use magic damage against her. I just gotta use regular arrows. Ooh, Enchanted Shot. I don't think I should be using Enchanted Shot against Floretta. Probably not the best idea. Okay, let's try... You know what? This is probably the one fight where that's not a good idea. No, I'm not going to use those. Looks like I'm just going to go back to this. I mean, it feels a little cheap to spam Rain of Arrows. It's actually Arrow Volley is what I think it is. Volley of Arrows in World of Warcraft. Where's the mages? They weren't there. Weird. Oh, I forgot to change my pet. I think I need something a little more proactive. Okay, well, this The Scorpion is perfectly proactive against a single enemy like this. But he didn't seem to be doing much. I think it's called Serpent Sting. Oh, it's working. Never mind. Do I have any traps? Crap. She's moving too much to use. Any of my trap abilities. No, attack the stupid... This isn't like World of Warcraft. I can't just fire all my arrows at you willy-nilly. Especially not holy-themed arrows. Ooh. It knocked her out. What was that? Damn, you're slow, Scorpion. Okay, that's enough. I need her dead now. No, her, not me, her. Her dead. Actually, no, that applies. That also doesn't work. Oh shit. That's... Those two together are hard to avoid. Okay, this should finish her off. Yay. Raptor strike for the win, apparently. I need to get more... I had that whole 3 bow setup going, and then I remembered, oh right, can't use magic damage against her. So, arcane shot? No, not a good idea. Although I don't really need the standard, the commander standard. There's nothing really... I mean, I guess there is some hunter ability that could stand for that, but it's not really. I can't think of anything that the hunters had that was like, here's a damage. Okay, no. Was it Beast Rage or something? You know, something like that. But I'm trying to avoid getting too specific with options like that. Freezing Pot. Right, level. This is all just running to the bosses at this point. Okay, here we go, off to Millennia. But once we get to her, then we gotta do the run to Moog. And then we can start fighting bosses. If anyone else is wondering why I don't just... Well, normally I would just park myself outside all these boss rooms, so I wouldn't have to do all this running. But Neil is, you know, you gotta beat Neil, though, if you want to get the medallion. That, or you do the skip. But, you know, sometimes, actually, you know, most of the time, doing the skip takes longer than it takes longer than just beating Neil and getting the medallion. So, I mean, sometimes you get it in one go, but usually what ends up happening is I have to do it for like a half hour before I get it right. Yeah, I'm not going to focus fighting on you too much. I need this. I gotta make up time so I don't have to... Oh, I think I'm... Actually, no, I'm not wearing your helmet. Although it's pretty similar looking. Out of my way. Someone died. I just saw the points go. Hey, dude. You're doing good work. Just keep watching me run by you. Just keep being a lookout. It's much appreciated. I forget if I mentioned this, but news, let's see here. Did anyone know they're doing a new Lord of the Rings movie? It's a prequel. The Search for Gollum. It's like one of the plot holes in the original Hobbit book when they're searching for, because Gandalf, he teams up with Aragorn to find Gollum. Right? And they only just mention it in the book. That's what they're doing, but they don't cover it. And apparently that's what they're going to do. I don't know if they'll necessarily bring back Andy Serkis and Viggo Mortensen and Ian McKellen and all that. I mean, it sounds like they're talking to them. And it does sound like Peter Jackson's going to be doing it in some way, but... yeah, that's what they're doing. I have no idea how good it'll be, because this time they can't really follow the books, because... I don't know if there's ever been any secondary book or whatever that covered the story, but all I know about the book is they went searching for him. So there's a lot of room for interpretation, and it better not be like in terms of like 3 movies interpretation. It's crazy. There's no way they can get 3 movies out of that. Not good movies anyway. I mean, The Hobbit. I always felt The Hobbit was good for 2 movies. Tops, because it was just one book, you know. It's not like the first 3 movies. The first 3 movies are 3 books, right? And even then, they still had to cut out a lot of stuff and make those extended editions. Whereas The Hobbit is one bloody book, and they covered everything pretty much. And they actually added a whole bunch of new plot and storylines that weren't even in the books, just to make the 3 movies. And I think they still ended up having like director's cut editions. Like, geez, what more did you need in those movies? 2 movies. It should have been like 2 not very long movies tops. Either one very, very long movie, like 3-hour plus movie, or 2 2-hour movies. Because in the books, there's plenty of that happens in them. Actually, no, I shouldn't say. There isn't plenty of that happens in those books, but even if you did everything, well, anyway, it doesn't matter now. They made the movies. They made the movies. Damn, actually, it's been a long time. It's kind of weird. It's like, actually, it's been a while since those movies came out. I'm like, oh crap. There's a shit. I'm that old? Crap. You know, I still think of those original movies as newer movies. I actually just watched them all recently. The movie's like 24 years old. 20 years old? 20 plus years old, those 3 movies? I remember seeing those movies in high school. I remember seeing the movie literally in high school. Someone actually somehow found the movie and put it on while we were in class, even though it just came in theaters. And they had it running on the computer, right? I didn't watch the whole movie. I didn't want to be spoiled. I wasn't gonna big major motion picture watching in some school computer, right? Especially those computers, they were crap. But, all right, Moog. We got to go back for Moog. Yeah, 20 years ago, but they don't feel like they're old. They don't feel like old movies to me. They still look great, and they still feel like higher quality production than any of the newer stuff. Hell, even more so than the stupid Hobbit, which is all almost entirely CG. But they still had a lot of practical effects in the original, so practical effects are still better. Anyway, that's that one piece of news. What else? I don't remember if I mentioned this. The Darksiders, they've announced it. I don't know. I don't think there's anything really there to really to give any indication of how close they are to finishing, if they just announced it, or if they're actually doing it. I don't know. I do believe it's the same studio that made Remnant from the Ashes. I think Gunfire Games. Is that who it is? Is that them? I think so. Something like that. But yeah, they announced Darksiders, and I know a lot of people probably don't care. Well, first of all, I'm not gonna say that you should care, but the first two games are actually good games, right? They're first game is a pretty good combination of a Zelda-like formula, and let me take care of you. Oop, why am I? That was weird. It's a good combination of the Zelda formula and stylus action, right? So it is worth your time. And the second one is more of a action RPG with it still has all those Zelda elements, but you know, the world's much bigger, and the loot property, like the loot RPG mechanics, are way stronger. Actually, a lot of people think the second Darksiders game is the best one, and a lot of people don't like the third one. I'm okay with the third one because it's a Souls-like. I mean, it's a Souls-like, you know, Elden Ring, right? So it does all the right things for me. But yes, it is kind of glitchy. But in terms of like the combat and the world design and the world exploration, actually quite good. It's more along the lines of like a standard Dark Souls game, except you have like that Zelda-ish exploration action. So I think a lot of people were too hard on the Darksiders 3. Admittedly, did have technical issues, and you can feel like they were rushing the game at the end. But then again, they absolutely rushed the second game at the end too. But I'm not going to really try and defend the third game. It's just a lot better. But anyway, so my point here is that anyone who's like, why should I care about Darksiders? Like, well, I mean, the third game aside, they are good games. I mean, they're not the greatest games ever, and you absolutely must care. But I'm just saying, you know, they are good games. You know, if you like your Zelda Devil May Cry stylus action with RPG mechanics, those first two games are quite good for what they are. And the second game, period, is just good, period. And then the spin-off game, Genesis, the fourth one, it plays very differently. It's more like a Diablo clone, sort of, with those Zelda mechanics, which is kind of different, but it actually is quite good. So they're all good games. So you're only giving yourself a disservice by not playing them. And so what's the main reason people should care about Darksiders 4? Or, I mean, if you are a fan, I'm not saying you have to, I'm just saying it's like they've been promising for the longest time that eventually there's going to be a game where you can play all four horsemen in one game, and that's what we've always been hoping for. Although it is probably going to play more like the spin-off, because it plays like a Diablo clone, and you know, 4 players works better there. That's what I think they're going to do. But you know, if you've been following the series as long as have been, and it's been around a long time. This was on the 360 for crying out loud. I think it was even like early 360 era. You know, so seeing that the fourth game is finally coming, and they're finally gonna have all 4 horsemen in one game, for fans of the game, is like, yay! You know. Of course, it's too bad that there's no indication when it's coming out, because if no one says it's coming out, then you have to assume there's a good chance it's gonna get canceled. Because lately, everything's getting canceled these days. Even games that are successful get canceled. Hi-Fi Rush, perfectly nice, charming game, apparently successful, still canceled. The second one was still canceled. We keep hearing about these other games that are getting canceled. I know games get canceled all the time, but even like high production, like games like, well, it's usually Microsoft because they suck. But you know, all these games that are like, they're showing off as being like, here's the next big game that gets canceled, right? Usually from MS, but you know, we know they all do them. I'm not just picking on Microsoft, but I guess they're just the highest profile example of a company that is canceling all sorts of productions, even though they damn well can afford to cover them. You know? Where was I going with all this? But yeah, so assuming it doesn't get canceled, and it's actually far enough along to make it to the end, yay. Okay, any other... Good lord, this stupid miasma crap is completely blocking... And it lasts forever. And you can't even just rest. It won't go away. See? I'm still taking blood damage. You know what? That's fine. We got it all set up. Let's really get to the fighting. Let's get to why we're here, right? Thankfully, all these bosses are now all set up and close to each other. So this part usually goes pretty supposedly fast. I hope it goes fast. Godfrey can be a real jerk. He can be a real brat. I don't know how this will go with him. I don't have to actually get close to him this time, because being able to just spam Raptor, well, you know, Lion's Claw, but you know, Raptor Strike is not necessarily going to be a good idea with him. I think apparently magic damage works against holy-based bosses. I remember hearing that somewhere. Actually, the black knives work even better. This is not a black knife. Although I'm starting to get an idea in my head for... I remember I was mentioning the World of Warcraft rogue build that one night. And I started thinking, instead of like just beating the game and just focus on assassinating NPCs. Well, I don't know about a World of Warcraft rogue build, but I just have some idea in my mind. It's just a general assassin build, but not like a black knife assassin. Just something a little more. Okay, I do not want to get stuck on him. So who is someone that's gonna make sure? Because this is just not gonna be a fight. I don't want it to be a fight. I don't want it to possibly be a problem. So I need him just dead quickly. Because if he is allowed to get summoning, he can actually be a real problem. Granted, I haven't beaten enough bosses for him to actually do anything. Like he won't have his full extent of spells, but still, if he's allowed to just stand around and summon, he can be a real pest. And we don't want that to happen, so... Oh, cold fire. Good. That is someone you do not want to lose to. Both because it's, well, you know, you don't want to lose to him, and two, because when you come back into the fight, the second time you come back, and he's standing there at the end of the room, and he starts just absolutely launching his spells, because they actually made him harder. And one of the buffs, he now casts... I mean, he was always casting those spells, but now he casts them more often and faster, and he can actually be a real pest. So if he actually has the distance to cast all his spells, yeah, it's he can actually become a problem, and some of them really hurt. So I do not want to risk. Wait, am I going the right way? No, I'm not. Right, gotta go this way. So, Godfrey. I don't know. I'll say one thing. Second phase, there's going to be no point using arrows. I mean, unless I get through the first phase really quickly, because if you can get stuck on one of your companions, yeah, but he moves around so damn fast, I don't see how I could possibly just use arrows. First phase, well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to go full hunter for this fight. Let's see. Obviously, Scarlet, the Rot Dog, is pointless. A Scorpion, I don't know. He does enough damage that he can actually burn through a high pet, a pet with a lot of HPs quickly. So maybe I want something faster. Gravebird is both tough and fairly quick. And Dean is quick, but he's not much HP. I guess all I can really do is just start with one and see who which one works out. I definitely don't want to get stuck on him, though, because there's too many bosses left in the night. And Millennia can be a whole night in her just with her. Ooh, right, Jelly. I haven't used Jelly yet. No, I don't want to use Jelly. Jelly. I'm supposed to be a range attacker, not Jelly. Although, if I'm gonna... You know what? It might be useful against Millennia... Actually, you know what? I shouldn't say that. If I go full melee and, you know, Jelly just fires away, then she can get poisoned and all that stuff. But what's... A, it usually gets killed really quickly because, you know, Millennia. And B, I've already seen a Stormhawk actually absolutely own Millennia. So I'll definitely want to be using that. Okay, so... Enough of that. What am I doing here? Right, well, there's no point for the first fight, because in the first fight I'm going to start right in front of... Oh, right, the runes. Great runes. I forgot about great runes. Well, I don't really need one. I mean, I usually need it more for the DLC. Scorpion. Scorpion. Oh, good. Okay, let's get all buffed up. Honestly, it's more important to kill him quickly in the first phase, so I can have a lot of potions left over for second phase. Where are you, Scorpion? There you are, Scorpion. Fire trap! Was it worth it? Huh. And again, that's kind of how explosive trap works in... Oh, crap. Whoa! That should have hit me. But yeah, well, explosive trap is not very highly damaging anyway. So... Oh, good. He's poisoned. Oh, I should have been using the serpent. Oh, for that. Come on, I'm pressing the buttons. What are you doing, Scorpion? No, not enchanted shot. It's arcane shot. Oh boy. Oh crap, I got that stupid... Oh, the stupid Scorpion's dead. Crap. Wow, this is gonna suck. I pressed the button, but who cares? Yes, I know I was drinking a potion, but I wasn't that far off. Oh crap. Okay, this time, yeah. See, that's the problem with him. You can get stuck in potion lock with him. Because he's perfectly... He's designed to, like, perfectly... Yeah, okay. He's designed to attack perfectly with your potion drinking flask. So, he's a pain. Good lord. Okay, Scorpion was useless. I don't even know if it landed a hit. Like, what's the point? I mean, I like that Scorpion does a lot of... Or has a lot of HP, but this pretty much... Okay, Gravebird, though, actually attacks. Okay, why am I even bothering with these things? I don't know. I might not even be able to do Radagon. I think I might just have to do, you know, just fight him 1 or 2 times, just say I did, and then just leave it, because this is not going to go very well. I mean, unless I go full melee, I have a better chance going full melee, because these arrows are so... Wait, am I missing something? Yeah, that's probably not a good idea to have that there. Okay, what can I put here? What am I missing? Precision? Okay, well, I'm never going to land any headshots on him. He's too bouncy, and he's... what can I do then? What can I do? I don't use throw items enough. Well, this could work with... No, that reduces my damage a lot, and I don't use the enchanted and any of these elemental damages that often enough. I could have sworn there was some... If there was something to increase the strength of your spirits, I mean, I have the mixed physics that does that, but I keep thinking there is a talisman that does that, but for some reason I can never see it. So maybe there isn't. I think there's one when it dies, but I don't want something for when my spirit dies. I want something while he's alive. Alright, whatever. I'm just going to put this for now until I can think of something better. I could not move just then. I actually pressed the dodge button on time, but I just couldn't move. Why can't I move? Oh, the great bird, you are failing hard. Oh, maybe I was out of HP. Okay. Or out of stamina. I mean, at this point, it's no longer a hunter. It's a survival hunter, I guess. But, I mean, this is supposed to be a build designed around early World of Warcraft hunters. But, you know, without the pet, I mean, I can't use... Well, I definitely wouldn't have been able to use a bow in this part of the fight. Anyway. Yay! I was able to avoid that just by stunning him. Damn it! I was hoping that Raptor Strike would kill him before he could get that attack off. Ah, man, but you know, if the stupid pet doesn't survive long enough, I can't do anything. I can't play like a hunter. Well, I mean, the whole point of these builds, these are not meant to be challenge runs, right? So I'm not trying to, like, prove anything here. I'm just doing the build to see how it goes. So if I can't actually beat them the way they're supposed to beat them, then I'm not going to kill I'm not going to, like, really get... I'm not going to, like, forcibly trying to fight through a boss if it's not working, right? But I would definitely... The goal here is to try and beat it the way it was meant to. The way the whole thing's supposed to be designed. Do I wonder? No, I'm not gonna use fingers. Alright, Dean. I don't think Dean has enough HP, but I might have to try just spamming. No. Let's see how that works, but so far the spirit animals don't even come close to getting through the first phase. Like, not. Where'd you go, Dean? Dean, go on. Okay, there we go. Oh wait, this is holy damage. Did that even land? I mean, actually, the damage is actually not that bad. Ooh, right. I did more damage with the stupid holy weapon arrows. Fine. My secret weapon. The golem arrows. No, not that much damage. Honestly. And I am out of mana. So there's no point in doing any of this now. Crap ore. Oh, I still have explosive trap, which I completely missed. The bird's actually surviving though. Not gonna survive long like that. Whoa, what hit him? Must have been bird. Okay, fine, I'm gone all melee again. And so much for bird. What? Oh, don't make me go full melee. Come on. None of these animals can stand. Well, you know, then again, an actual boss in World of Warcraft, it's very difficult for hunters solo. Like a real dungeon boss is a different story from just like some wandering elite. Even like 3 team boss. Any quest that suggests like 3 allies, a party of 3, even that can be pretty tough for a hunter. Unless it's like Beastmaster, then it's probably no big deal. But full Beastmaster, yeah, okay, sure. But any other hunter, yeah, that's kind of pushing. That's usually pushing it. Okay, what am I gonna do here? The stupid bird actually survived. But I can't keep using... Okay, what I really need is mana. So... Let's... Where is this? Of course, I don't like using these things for that. I'm going to put that here. The Starlight Shards. I know I can make potions... I know I can make flasks for that. I don't want to. Let's see. I do not want to keep spamming. I don't want to use my good stuff. The holy damage seems to be making a difference there. But the bird was the only one that survived so far. The second... Well, just barely, but it did. I am not going to bother with with the poison. Just take him down. And I missed. Most of those arrows missed. I mean, I really should only be using these for larger bosses. Uh-oh. Oh, he looks kind of fun. He's got arrows sticking out of his head. Oh wow, it's like looking like it's coming like out from over his ear, like from the top of his head over his ear. It's almost like wearing like a pencil behind your ear, except it's an arrow stuck in your head. That's what it looks like. Oh, that's right. Hold that pose. Really just boiled down to just spamming the actual good abilities. Oh wow, he's getting pissed. He's starting to realize who he needs to actually fight. He's just spamming those stupid stomps. Like, it's impossible to shoot a bow. Okay, I couldn't. I wasn't even I wasn't even standing when he did that, so I couldn't do jack all. So basically, what we got going on here is I can use the bow just fine against him for the first part. But once he gets to that point where he's just stomping his foot, I might as well throw the bow in the trash. I can't even get a shot off at that point. So I might have to just this build is. And then in the second phase, definitely don't bother with the stupid bow. Are you kidding? I can't even get a stupid flask off, let alone fire a bow. And the pet's worthless at that point. So I might have to just declare that this fight is just for this kind of build. Okay, if I used a spirit that was specifically designed for tanking, I think it'd be fine. I think that'd be enough. But I'm not. I'm limiting myself to any other kind of spirit. I'm just using these specific animals, right? And the simple fact is they're not getting it done. They simply can't last long enough against him. And once he gets in that phase when he's just stomping away, then the bow is useless. I can't even get a shot off. So we are going to have to make some changes here. Let's focus on. This is not. So this is absolutely not going to work. This setup is just pointless. What can we do here? Okay, I don't want to use holy damage too much, even though it wasn't really making a difference. It was still doing just as much damage. So at this point, And then, of course, in the second phase, it's like, you absolutely cannot use a bow. I mean, unless he focuses on the pet, but, you know, you saw what happened to the pet. The pet's just so busy laying down on the ground, I can't even do anything, so... I might have to declare this boss is just, for this build, it's just not feasible. Not without a lot of luck, anyway. But we'll try it again. But at this point, I don't think this is going to happen. I mean, at least it's not going to happen in terms of... Yeah. Like, it's not going to happen in terms of just a straight fight. Like all the other bosses, I was able to just stand there and fire the bow if I really wanted to. But he's designed specifically to make this impossible. So I might have to go... Ooh, that one hit. What's going on? Oh, I did say unless you get lucky, and that is definitely... Oops. I wonder why all those ones landed. Where'd that one go? See? Now in this phase, I can't get a shot off. God damn it. Why are these animals... These animals are not just... See, in World of Warcraft, hunters have ability called Growl and Taunt and there's something else, I don't know, Diverging Shot, that actually transfers aggro to the your pets. And of course your pets are actually... Oh, and we actually have a heal spell. They actually have a healing ability, which I just flat out can't do here. Because I need faith to have like a spell that's similar to how the heal works in World of Warcraft. And there's nothing like that here. Warming Stone is the best, but that's a pointless spell to have here. And the next healing spell that's strong enough requires a lot of faith, and that's just not going to happen. But I don't see this one I don't see this one happening. Not like this. And then the second phase, I mean, the second phase was pointless anyway, because there's no way. Like, I can't use a bow in that second phase. It's impossible. Just like I couldn't use a shield in that second phase. Because he's just got, like, pure... all his attacks in that second phase are pure grapple attacks, which just go through your shield like nothing. Why do the animals generate no aggro? You know those putrid corpses? They hold aggro, like, so easily. And they don't do anything. They literally just walk. They don't do anything. They rarely attack. I can't remember seeing them ever attack anything, and yet they hold aggro so well. What are you doing, Hawkface? What are you doing, Beam? Do something. The Grey Bird is actually a better pet. It actually attacks, but he killed it so quickly. Good. when he does that attack, those arrows hit him very hard. Of course, now he's in this phase, and I can't do anything. And this time I didn't roll that. Oh good, the bird finished it off. Why did I not use the second potion? I pressed the button twice! That didn't... And he didn't even attack me! Oh my god, come on! The buttons, why aren't they not working? That's been happening a lot recently. Oh, jeez. Thank God, the only bosses I have left are like Millennia and Moog that I have to actually do. Well, okay, Radagon too, but I don't have to beat Radagon. I have to beat him to get to Radagon. I don't have to beat Radagon. Oh, jeez. I think I have a better chance of just going late World of Warcraft survival build, because these arrows are just not... I mean, they're fine for the first phase, but for the second phase it's like I'm better off with my usual strategy, which is just to have so many potions left over by the time I get to the second phase. I can usually just win it through class. I don't know why I always say potions. I never say potions any other time. For some reason on stream I keep saying potions. Flasks. I have so many flasks I can get through the second phase on sheer healing power. Because the bird is doing nothing except giving me a nice little buff. Oh crap, I hope I got that flask in. What? Why would that one-shot me? That has never one-shotted me. I know I don't have high HP, but still. Okay, now we're pushing into, this is just borderline unfair territory. Because that... What the hell was that? That's not a one-shot. And I killed him so quickly, I know my... Okay, you know what? Enough of this. I don't know why the hell that was a one-shot. That should not have happened. So now... I really should have just done this in the first place, because... I mean, it's not like going to with a melee build for a hunter is against the rules or anything. Because by the end of by the later expansions, the survival tree was changed to a melee tree. Even though that's sort of against the spirit of this build, but I think I've done enough to establish that bows are just worthless here. If not necessarily in this phase, absolutely in the second phase. And of course, if he's going to have the ability to suddenly one-shot me for no reason, then I got to start being cheesy here. So they're going to be cheap, I'm going to be cheap. Granted, I'm not doing anything that's actually cheap at the moment, but I mean in terms of, like, using my usual tricks rather than, and it's not like I'm using the mimics here. Shit. That wasn't a one-shot. And I had half my HP missing. Okay, come on, I pressed the button. What the hell, man? Yeah, that was lucky. Hand literally slipped off the button at that second. God damn, I gotta clean this. I gotta clean the buttons on this thing. It's starting to get slippery. Okay, well, I'm 30 minutes short of my stream limit, so I absolutely cannot afford to spend any more time on him because Millennia alone can take forever, so I'm afraid we are going to have to call in the big guns because I can't waste any more time on this. This is taking too long. And now I had a one shot that should never have happened, and I had a button slip, so no more. This just needs to be done. That's just all let's do it. As I've said many times before, these are not challenge runs. I do not need to beat anything. If you want to see a challenge run, you can go see my first run where I did the whole game, Sword and Shield, literally no other abilities whatsoever. So there's a challenge run. I got nothing else to prove here. I need him dead. That's just all to it. Not that the Mimic tier necessarily is going to help that much, frankly. But I need to get past him. Why are you using the stupid... Don't use the halberd. See? Half my HP gone, and that did not kill me. So whatever happened when that one shot me was just pure bullshit. Moving on. Had to be done. So I think that was two repeated instances of an attack that should have killed me with half my HP gone. Did not kill me, but in the previous fight one-shotted me. Although, to be fair, I did not have the shield talisman equipped at that point. But whatever. You are free to complain about it in the comments section, if anyone has a problem with it. Or, although I'd prefer people give me build ideas. I'd much rather have new build ideas or new game ideas to play or anything like that. It would be much more appreciated. Okay, what was I doing? I just lost my train. Anyway, since he wasted a lot of my time, I will not be able to... I mean, I will fight Radagon, but I can't, like, force myself to beat him. So if he takes a few attempts, then I just have to move on. Let's see here. I don't think I need to bother with endurance anymore. I can equip every weapon I want and stay at medium load, so I can start putting everything else. Okay, I'm not using the spear anymore. Disengage is just it's just too many things to think about in terms of switching weapons around. So I'm just sticking to Raptor Strike and the various bow abilities, and I got my explosive shot, which is kind of it's been so far been worthless. I mean, it actually kind of does about as much damage as explosive trap does, and even has the same little flaming effect, which is kind of cool. Freezing trap is let's put that back in. Where's freezing trap? I honestly have not tried to use it. Let's get Mimic Tear out. We're going to give every animal a shot, and if they can't do it, then they can't do it. And as usual, Elden Beast, I don't care if I beat him or not. I'll just move on, because as we have seen in the past, sometimes I get the stupid Elden Beast that's easy to beat, and sometimes I get the master strategist who has the absolute perfect counter delivery every move I make, and I can do nothing but spam Flask. And every attempt can take like 20 minutes, which is... just can't do it. Okay, where am I? I could switch this back to serpent arrows. You start with the serpent bow. Actually, no. I can actually use magic arrows for him. No, we need holy resistance. Where are you, holy resistance? There you are, holy resistance. And start with this, which... what's it feel? Oh, okay, I don't know. Beast Mastery or something. Something. I know there's a buff that hunters get that increase their damage. Oh, right, it's the stand-in for Hunter's Mark. That's what it is. It's a stand-in for Hunter's Mark. I tried using the golden arrows, or the great golden arrows that have that divine vow effect going on, but it doesn't. It rarely hits. So I have to use this instead to stand in for Hunter's Mark. Why are you hitting me? Shit. I literally saw the scorpion hit me. Oh crap. Why do they generate no aggro, as we would say in World of Warcraft? I mean, I know why they don't generate aggro, but like, why does an actual animal, like literally attacking him, generates no aggro? Yet these stupid putrid corpses that do literally nothing are practically, like, bosses will stick to them like glue, even if you're attacking them like crazy. Oh, come on! It's too early in the night to have for my dodge button to stop working. Sometimes I really do think this button's not working, like for real. I'm not joking wise. Like I really do sometimes think it's starting to fail. Because I was hammering that button just then, and she did not roll. Or wait, was I out of stamina? Yeah, that's possible. No, Enchanted Shot doesn't take that much stamina. Whatever, just... Okay, Scorpion, well, okay, that was not a fair shot, really. Oh god, what's gonna happen in the DLC with these bosses? Radon is probably gonna be impossible. Let me buff. See, this is why people love it, like these games where they like, buff like crazy, but I hate them. I hate having to like pile all these buffs. If you think of it from a design standpoint, like what's the point of having systems where you have all these buffs? I mean, if you're gonna want to have... I couldn't even get the stupid potion off. Flat. Mixed physics flask. I don't know why I keep saying potion. I only do it on stream. For some stupid reason, only in these stupid streams do I keep saying potion. I always say flask off, like by myself. I don't know why I keep saying it here. I haven't played a game that said potion for a long time now, so I don't know why I keep doing this. Okay, well, Scorpion is worthless. It can probably take the damage, but it's generating no aggro. I don't know what's going on. I guess it's basically just a meat shield. It doesn't actually do anything. Okay, this time I'll just have the flask on handy. What was I saying? I don't know, that's kind of a lot to say while I'm busy fighting, as we have certainly proven that I'm definitely the kind of person that needs to focus on some of these bosses. Oh, that made a big difference. Shit. As I'm sure some people have figured out by now, this is not the ideal way to fight some of these bosses. Like the way Elden Ring's designed, you aren't really meant to just sit back with an arrow and let your buddies attack. Well, okay. Your spirit buddy, your actual real buddies can handle it just fine. You're using the mod. Or the actual NPCs. But these pets are... This game is definitely not designed so that you can just stand here with an arrow. Or with a bow and just keep attacking like this, because... You know what? I don't know where I was going with that, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Or if I had a point there, I lost it. Because I'm still not that good at the talking and the playing part yet. Oh, he's poisoned. Never mind. $300? Okay, forget it. I didn't even hit him. Oh god. Okay, so Great Bird simply doesn't have the HP to do this. All my arrows are doing like no damage. I was actually having more luck just shooting the stupid poison arrows. So we are going to try just spamming my most powerful arrow shot, and if that doesn't work, then melee. And you know what? I really don't want to do melee for him for some reason. I don't know. It just feels like for me, when I'm doing these builds, or any of these builds, if I feel like that I have this build going and the build just flat out not working, then I don't feel like, well, I'll just change it. And to me, it's like, well, then what's the point of playing the build? I'd rather just quit and start a new build. Because, like, what's the fun? You do make the build and it just flat out does not work because of just the way the game is designed. Right? Just options are just not viable just because. That's how the game works. It's like, what's an example? I don't know. I'm sure we played games where some particular, like some certain weapon or skill or ability. Well, it's like magic in Skyrim. It's okay, maybe not the best example, but the point being that sometimes it's like there's these games where these options are just worthless. It's just they're just so weak, and it doesn't matter what build you do. It's like, and then you're just when you play, you're like, well, this is just no fun because I know it's never going to work. Because the game has made the abilities too weak. What was my previous point I was saying? I was saying something about game design. Oh, buffs. I'm going to leave that for after. Okay, well, that's working. Actually doing damage. But... I can't even get an arrow off because once he decides he wants to attack me, it's like, and the bird is not generating aggro at all, even though it's attacking him. I'll tell you one thing I got right from the original WoW. Running out of mana. Hunters running out of mana during boss fights. I didn't really play a lot of Hunters early WoW, but I remember hearing Hunters constantly complaining. It was actually so common that people would make jokes about it. It was like a meme. You know, what's more common than a Hunter running out of mana during a raid boss fight or something like this? Like, it was a very real problem. So... And I don't feel like blowing potions on it. Especially not for him. Between Millennia and Radana. You know, I'm probably not going to beat Radon with a bow. The only reason I even have any hope for Millennia is because I've actually seen her get beaten by the damn Stormhawk, right? Okay, well, this is gonna be the melee shot because this is feeling like it's really aggravating at this point. And again, it's not a challenge run. I don't have to beat anything with a bow, so. This is meant to be fun, right, guys? It's supposed to be fun. And I'm not at the point yet where I would be willing to do challenge runs like that. Damn, it looked like the bird actually came trying to come to my rescue just then. We seem to be at that point in the night where I press the dodge button and this doesn't respond. Actually, we are at that point in the night. Crap. I don't have any more time left, right? Oh boy. I'm pressing the button, like what the hell? Okay, I don't know anymore. Wow, I'm not even, like, never mind missing the dodges, I'm not even landing my attack. Why don't I at least just beat him, just at least once, like, even, like, never mind with just beat him, period. Okay, whatever. This is a cursed run, cursed build for him. This is crazy. It's like everything's missing, it's, dodge button's not working, it's just... Forget it. It's just no fun anymore. So forget it. I'm not fighting him anymore. I don't got enough time for this. If I beat him, it'll be in the final video. But I don't even think I'll do that because no one watches the final videos anyway. So we're done with him. I got to move on. I don't have more time. I got 10 minutes left for the end of the stream. So I have to move on here. I gotta say, this build was fun at first, but I'm getting more and more bosses where the arrows do like no damage, or I'm having an instance where, and I got to go to melee anyway, and then at which point, well, I'm just playing like any other build, any melee build, right? Except, you know, I have low HP and armor and low poise. For some reason, these animals are doing like generating no aggro. A lot of the knights and soldiers and even stupid undead classes do just fine, but the animals are worthless. Except the stupid Stormhawk. For some stupid reason, the Hawk survives. Okay, well, I'm going to give Scorpion a chance, because the Scorpion is what's on the stupid thumbnail. to beat Moog, but I've seen the Dean beat Moog. So usually this stuff works fine against Moog. But I have no hope at this point. Okay, I actually have room to shoot arrows with him, but I have to spend a lot of time just using buffs. So what was I saying about buffs before? Right. I find the whole idea of the buffs. Where's the Scorpion? I find the whole idea of games that spam buffs. Well, for one, it's no fun to just stand there casting buffs over and over again. But it almost seems like, what's the point of them? Because if you are actually expected to... Wait, what am I doing here? If you are actually expected to use a buff, think about it. If you're actually expected to have like a 10% HP bonus, or for some reason or whatever... Actually, I should clarify. I'm speaking more to like consumable buffs. Why not just increase the player's damage by 10%? Right? Like, what's the point of the buff? You know, what's the point of making the player like do this and that and get these farm these materials, spend all this time doing this and all that, and it's like, what am I doing here? Oh crap! I messed that up. Why am I not... Wait, where's the Scorpion? It didn't survive? Oh my god. Come on, go into your kneel. Maybe I can do so much damage from this that he will... No, it's not going to make a difference. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back to stupid melee again. What? What's that? It was not... Why did I lose so much HP? Not from the blood loss. That came after. Oh boy. So once again, basically, once they become mobile, arrows are pretty much worthless. Okay, I gave Scorpion a shot. He's just a meat shield at this point. He doesn't do anything. Actually, you know what? Let me give Brave Bird. He actually does some damage. You know, another problem I'm having here is that for some strange reason, I have this set up so that I can switch to all my melee weapons quickly, but for some reason, the special abilities of the bows override all. So it's supposed to be whatever's in your right hand, right? But for some reason, no, I can't use my right hand abilities, because I had it set up so I'd have to switch to my bow before I can use my special abilities on the bows. But that's not happening for some reason here. That was cool. Seeing the cold fire, the black flame, overtop his blood flame. That was a cool effect. I like that. That was neat. I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but looked cool. Poop. I'm starting to have that feeling that I had with Xena, where it was starting to feel like the build, like the way Xena was designed was to use the chakrams and the sword. But what ended up happening, because of the way the chakrams targeted things, it was busted for the most part. So I couldn't really use the chakrams. And so what ended up happening was I was basically just... Xena would just have the sword, and I would use the war cry attacks, but the chakram was essentially useless. And I started to get this feeling while playing her, like, well, what's the point of playing Xena? Because the core mechanic of what made that build Xena was busted. So I just couldn't use it. And I'm saying that because I'm starting to get that feeling here. Because the bow is... the animals are useless. They don't generate enough aggro for me to just stand here and fire bow. I have to keep going into melee anyway, and it's starting to feel like there's no point playing this build. So... I mean, I can do it, but as far as just standing there shooting arrows... I mean, I'm sure there's some channel somewhere that's done it, but, well, A, I don't care. B, I guarantee you they didn't enjoy it. And this is supposed to be, these builds are supposed to be about fun for me. These aren't challenge builds. So it's starting to feel like there's no point in playing these builds. I don't know. Like, the Xena, I gave up on her. I canceled her. I think I turned her into Wolverine or something. Because it was like, what's the point? So, hopefully... that doesn't happen here, but I'm really starting to feel it now. We're starting to feel like there's no point in using the bow because I'm just going to switch to my. I'm just going to switch to the axe anyway at some point. Why was that a one-shot? No, the blood, it was not the blood. It wasn't full. You see, the actual meter wasn't full. So why was that a one-shot? Oh my god, this build's cursed. I'm at end stream. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm at the end of the stream. Wow, this build totally failed in the end. Not in terms of, like, I knew the damage was going to suck, but the animals are doing not holding aggro, and if I just stand there and fire arrows, I'm dead. It's basically suicide. Stupid YouTube and their rule guidelines. I gotta go on to Millennia. because that's it. That's my time. So I'm going to do what I did for the rest of them. They're all going to get their shots with their animals, and if it don't win, then don't win. And there's this in this channel, in these runs, there is a rule for like I can declare a build. It just doesn't work. I mean, it's this build versus Elden Ring, right? If it loses, then technically Elden Ring wins. That's a fair result. I'm not. These aren't challenge runs. I'm not trying to make sure I beat the game. Actually, I've beaten there are very few actual wins in reality. Now, I think I've only had one of the Death Knights actually beat Radahn. Only a few beat. We never got to see if Ranger could beat Radahn because I had a power outage. The power went out right as I was fighting him, and the internet. And when my internet loses power like that, like unexpectedly, it won't turn on again for like an hour or so, like half hour to an hour. So it was like, well, it was 2:30 anyway, so I guess the stream's over. What am I doing here? I am losing track of. I don't know what to do anymore. There is no way I can even use the bow against Millennia. So I'm even going to bother. The animal is likely just going to cause her to regain all her HP, and I'm going to have to switch to a full melee build, or a full melee strategy. Is obviously what's going to happen here. Will she even let me summon? So Scorpion first. Can I even hit her with the bow, the arrows? I can't even hit her with the arrows. Yeah, actually they are landing. Oh right, enchanted shot. I won't say it hits unerringly, but it's much more accurate. Arcane shot, I should say. Arcane shot, not enchanted shot. Wow, you look funny with all those arrows sticking out of your chest. Whoa, it does that much damage? And unsurprisingly, my stupid dodge button is useless against waterfowl dance. Whoa, did that actually knock her off on her ass? Why did that knock her on her ass? Why did that miss? Actually, let's try those golem arrows here. Okay, well, they're definitely very damaging, but I don't have... Actually, no, wait, what am I saying? I don't have too many of these arrows. That's why I farm them. Specifically for the fights against Millennia and Radahn. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious what the problem is going to be here. I mean, unless I'm constantly spamming rain of arrows, or volley of arrows, then it's... yeah. Okay, then now I'm back to just good old melee. I mean, there was no point at that point, because, okay, why is these attacks... You've seen me completely dodge her attacks of waterfowl without taking damage before. I don't know why I haven't been able to do it the last couple nights. I'm starting to be at that point where it's like, what's the point of even doing this build anymore? Because, the animals, they do no damage, they don't hold aggro, the arrows do so little damage. Unless I'm spamming frickin' rain of arrows, I'm doing no damage. I'm gonna have to actually switch to... I need some mana. Why even bother giving the spirits? Wait. No, wait, I don't need to do that. What am I doing? That's silly. Ah, screw it. I don't think the spirits are doing anything anyway. No, where's my... you know what? It's not really doing anything anyway. So, yeah, I'm starting to feel like this build... Well... But as I was saying earlier, this is actually World of Warcraft accurate. Against real bosses, a hunter could not solo them. So, anyway, we'll give this pet a shot. But it looks like all I can do really is spam rain of arrows. Volley of arrows. More accurate. I should really use that. Actually, no. She evades the pots a lot, so... And now they're hitting a wall. Get into that corner. Will reduce the amount of dodge abilities you have, your dodge options if you're in that corner. And of course, attacking the birds allows you to gain your HP, which is doing more than my arrows can do. Ooh, oh yeah, right. When they're in that corner, the lower ceiling allows the arrows to hit more often. Once again, whoa. Getting Millennium to a corner is very helpful. You know, I can just get the second phase. I have a feeling the arrows will absolutely murder her in second phase. Because when she does the flower attack, that's a long time she's just standing there doing nothing. Oh crap. Where did the arrows go? Did they hit? Oh man, that actually did not help just then. Well, I just want to see now what will happen if I get into the second phase. Damn it. Stay in that corner. Come on, finish her off. Yay. Okay, I really want to see what will happen in second phase now when she's just standing there. Or not standing there, but you know, What? I pressed the button. Why does the... Oh my god. Is my voice just that bad? Yeah, that's pretty bad, actually. Okay, well... good job, Greybird. But... What can I say? I have seen the Stormhawks actually kill her in the past, so... And it looks like this build is really just going, boiling down to just spamming Rain of Arrows because nothing else worth doing. She can Enchanted Shot or Arcane Shot, we should call it, and the poison is no point. I can't hit her with pots really, and it doesn't matter because all the dot damage she just... I mean, the way Elden Ring was designed, it's just not gonna work because she recovers HP faster than any of those dots. Or dots. No, dots can, there's just no point. The dots, she recovers HP too quickly. You gotta do big damage and burst to have any real impact on Millennium. Stay in your corner. Stay in your corner. Okay, good. You're in a corner, that should be really focused. No, it was not. Get her into a corner. You gotta get her back into a corner. You're never gonna be hit her with arrows when you're in the open like this. Especially if she does something like that. Yeah. No. Oh, good. You're focused on doing it on him. No, leave me alone. Somehow her having arrows stuck on her actually kind of completes the image. She's supposed to be this battle-hardened warrior, right? Who just sort of locked herself away after countless wars or something. So her just walking around with arrows stuck on her, it's like, yeah, it works. I mean, of course, then the question becomes, why don't we just remove the arrows? But you know what I mean. No, stay away from me. Stay away from me. You know, I gotta have some of these arrows left over for Radon, you know? Then again, what am I thinking? There's no way I'm ever gonna be able to hit Radon with arrows. They're second phase round. These are supposed to be for the big creatures, really. Actually, no, I don't need to use this particular ability with Rain of Arrows, or with the Golem arrows, so... No. Crap, I don't want to use another set of Rain of Arrows when you're this low on HP. Okay, fine. Crap. The camera messed me up at that point. I couldn't even see them anymore. Okay, so at this point, it's basically... Oh. Not a good camera angle. Not a good camera angle. Crap. I hope YouTube doesn't screw me over for that. Okay, so at this point, basically I'm just spamming Rain of Arrows because any other option does not work. Arcane Shot does not do enough damage to make a difference. Poison does not do enough damage to make a difference. What else? The animals, they actually do some damage to keep her busy, so thankfully that's nice. They're actually holding her attention, which is nice for a change. But the regular arrow damage doesn't make a difference. Basically, unless I'm spamming Rain of Arrows with the Golem's Great Arrow, because it's the only thing that has enough area to hit her reliably. So unless I'm doing that, I'm basically just going melee, at which point this build's meaningless because, you know, it's just not a hunter anymore. I'm not playing a hunter anymore. So, but it's possible if I get a little lucky, like maybe, remember that night when she spammed the Scarlet Ionia spell like 3 bloody times in a row? She just won't stop doing it. That was a lucky attempt that, no, wait. That was a lucky thing that made a win possible then. But if she did that here with this particular build, I would definitely beat her because I'd be able to just get 2 Rain of Arrows off, and they do quite a bit of damage when she's there. But let me. What am I saying here? But otherwise, unless these specific, so basically, it's just starting to feel like this is pure luck now, right? So basically, it seems like the smartest thing I can do now is Dean, go basically late survival hunter, full melee. Whoops. Let's get the mixed physics back. And then when she does Scarlet Ionia, and then switch to the bow, and then spam Rain of Arrows. But I'm not really playing a hunter anymore at that point. Now I'm just playing a melee build, but I have a bow on hand to, you know, take advantage of it. So what I'm saying here is, as far as I'm concerned, attempts against Millennia and all this stuff is just, it's just done. The World of Warcraft hunter, unless I really feel like spending hours and hours and hoping I get lucky to beat her, is not going to happen, and I don't feel like doing that because that's just not fun. So I'm going to try this again anyway, with just a plain melee, but as far as I'm concerned at this point, this is just the fun of all this has sort of gone kaput. I mean, I'm still going to go back and beat Moog so I can get to the DLC, and I'm still going to go to Radahn, but this is not as bad as Xena was, because with Xena, it was like, because the chakram was so crappy, I was basically just playing a build. What I was doing was just spamming slash attacks with a one-handed sword, and it was like, I might as well just have a shield and armor. It was absolutely no fun. This still has some charm to the build, I guess we could say. What am I trying to do here at this point? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not going to use this. I'm not getting any bonus. I'm just going to spam Lion's Claw anyway, so forget the arrow crap. It doesn't mean anything. Guys, what's difference going to make at this point? So, yeah, just do it, and the bow and the arrows will just be like a handy little extra. That's kind of nifty. Actually, you know, I should still have the golden great arrows because they will buff me. It's like a little divine. I would throw explosive trap, but the stupid throwing animation takes so long that whoops. I'd rather just cast the Rain of Arrows. Okay, what am I? All right, I didn't equip the mixed physics. And I had no idea that stupid Lion's Claw was so good at, like, stun locking even bosses. Okay, it won't stun lock. Well, okay, I'm sure it does when you actually hit them. Oh my god, I was 3 times in a row. Oh crap, this is going horribly. No! Again? Oh my god, I forgot how much their wings get in the way. Does it really smack her down like that? Crap. Well, if I hadn't been missing over and over again, that probably would have worked out well. Okay, well, that was hilarious, so I'm going to do that again. Okay, let's... Where's that stupid mixed physics book? Where are you? Where are you? Let's do all mana, because that was fun. Just knocking her, face planting her over and over again was funny. So I gotta do that again. I doubt I'll beat her because I'm really running out of energy or something tonight already, which is surprisingly well. Okay, it's quite late now, but still, I was a little surprised how quickly we got to that point in the night when it seems like the dodge button isn't working. Crapola! I don't even know how those things... All I know about that attack is just bounce to dodge back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then wait for the delay in the final one. I did not know that last one does attack stall. Honestly, when I beat her in second phase, it's usually because I get lucky and she starts spamming her regular first phase attacks. If she starts spamming her second phase attacks, then it becomes really hard. And holy cow, is this... I think this controller needs a cleaning. It's getting slippery. So what am I going to do here? You know, I'll give her one go. It's honestly, this is getting really late. The only reason I'm probably doing this again is because I started much later than I really should have. And only because, I mean, I could have started one on time, but I was just like, you know, I didn't feel like, really, I wanted to look up some sports scores and stuff first. But, so it was really on me. I should have started on time, but I do have a limit for what I am willing to, how late I'm willing to go here. Honestly, I'm only still doing this because this is really funny. I did not know Lion's Claw could flatten her like that. No, don't keep missing. Okay, that's it. There's a point in the night where it's like I'm pressing the dodge button, and it starts to get worse and worse as the night goes along. It feels like I'm pressing the button and it's not responding, and it gets to a point where it's like I'm literally hammering the button and it doesn't feel like it's responding because my reflexes have gotten so bad that it's like it feels like I'm not even pressing the button anymore. But honestly, it was getting stupid anyway. Sure, if I keep going with Lion's Claw, the Raptor Strike, and then spamming volley of arrows while she's in Scarlet Oinia, and you know, maybe get a little bit lucky, I'm sure I'll beat her eventually. I mean, basically it was only 2 tries when I was focusing on melee. It was actually pretty good attempts, aside from some stupid bad dodge timings that and at this time of night it's now like I might as well not even be pressing the dodge button anymore. So but at this point, the whole hunter build thing is out the window. It's pointless. It's not working. Against Millennia, it's pointless. Forget it. Yes, the Stormhawk is good against Millennia, but it's good against Millennia when you're attacking her, like Lion's Claw, and spamming it, and the bird comes in and distracts her and flinches her, and then you whack her with Lion's Claw, and you can keep it up until it's basically stunlock her, practically. And then in second phase, it becomes more about luck. You might get lucky enough that she'll use her first phase attacks, and then the Hawk will hit her, and then she'll get hiccuped still, and then you can flatten her with Lion's Claw. Or she'll spam her most annoying attacks and kill you anyway. Unless you have the potion or flask to heal through it. But I'm talking in terms of a melee build, melee-focused build on melee hiccuping. In terms of arrows, forget it. No freaking way. They don't do enough damage. The Hots don't do enough damage. He just attacks the pet and they completely recover. Against Moog, what was okay? Well, Moog probably could if I focus more on it, but the arrow is fine in first phase. In second phase, forget it. He literally hits you with burning fire blood that deals blood damage, and he'll hit you with an AoE. And this is not like World of Warcraft where an AoE, when it lands in an area, it'll go away after a second or two, unless it's like some crazy raid mechanic. But even in raids, most of the time the AoEs go away. Like they say, don't stand in fire. Well, unlike World of Warcraft and Elden Ring, that stupid blood flame just stays there. And he'll keep spamming it, right? Especially if you're at range. The further you're away from Moog, the more likely he spams the blood flames, right? So that second phase, The arrows, I mean, sure, I'm sure they've been strong enough eventually to take him down, but again, I was resorting to melee. You saw what happened with Godfrey, forgot using arrows. Radagon, honestly, I was just getting more annoyed. Oh boy. So, yeah, that's enough for tonight. My dodge timings are shit now at this point. It's just getting too late. So this build is starting to feel like a challenge run, but so I'm not gonna bother with any of these guys tomorrow night. I'm just gonna go to the DLC. I'll beat them to get to the DLC, and maybe I'll put it in the final video. I don't know, but and I forgot to record this whole thing, didn't I? Son of a. Well, what is there to record anyway? I didn't beat anyone. But yeah, no, that's it for tonight. This is getting painful. Arrows suck. That's all that's to it, and it's sort of really, it's sort of like taking robbing me of some of the fun of all this. The golem arrows, yeah, we all knew how good they are, but I just don't have that many. So I mean, I only have like 70 of them, so I just can't keep using them. I'm sure it'll work great against all the bosses, but. Especially large bosses. Actually, I was really planning to use Rain of Arrows for the larger bosses. I was really planning to use it on smaller bosses, but nothing else was doing any real damage unless I pulled out the axe, so... Okay, whatever. Now I'm just rambling. Anyway, I hope that for some whatever crazy reason you enjoyed this. You know all about like and subscribe, blah, 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 and engage! You can't just like and subscribe, you gotta engage according to YouTube. You know the story. I'm completely losing it at this point, both in terms of energy and my sanity, so let's just call it here. Good night, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully come back tomorrow night so you can watch me struggle against even harder bosses. Oh, it's going to be... Oh my god, if this is this bad against these guys, I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the DLC. Ugh. See you then, hopefully.